Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter Watches TV, where I watch all the TV shows and then I come over here and I talk about them. And I've been kind of putting this review off. I don't really know why. Well, first of all, I just don't think that many people are going to be interested in a review of Happy Valley, a TV show, a British TV show that came out in 2014. I just don't think that many people will be interested in it, but you should. But you should, because this is one of the best TV shows that I have ever seen in my entire life. There's kind of a funny story that goes along with this, and then I didn't really know how to do this video because a lot of people, I was asking for good mystery thrillers, and people had recommended to me Broadchurch. So I started watching Broadchurch, and I was like, have I seen this before? I felt like I had seen it before. Apparently there's a US version. I keep lists of all the TV shows I've watched. I think that one's called Grace Point or Grace something. I hadn't seen either one of them before because I keep lists of all the TV shows I watch. I hadn't seen either one of those before. So I watched Broadchurch. I watched I watched all the 3 seasons of Broadchurch with Olivia Colman and David Tennant. Thought it was fantastic. Loved Broadchurch. And so I was asking for recommendations of shows to watch. And I was like, you know, I want to watch more shows like Broadchurch. Like, I got so into it. My best friend, Tanya Jean, she loves BritBox. She's obsessed with it. She's seen like every show on BritBox. So I was asking her, I was like, should I get BritBox? Should I not get BritBox? She was like, oh my God, I love all the shows on BritBox. So I was thinking about getting BritBox, which is like an app off of Amazon Prime that you can get, and you can see all the different British TV shows, mystery shows, thrillers, comedies, all kinds of stuff. My tripod fell so early into this video. Okay, so one night I was like Googling stuff to see different shows that were like Broadchurch to watch. I was like, I want to find a show that's just like Broadchurch. Like, I loved Broadchurch. It was dark, it was scary, it was this great thriller. If you want me to do an entire review on Broadchurch, I will do that. And Happy Valley came up right away, and I was like, Happy Valley, like that feels familiar to me. Do I know this show? So I look it up and I'm like, I do not know this show at all, okay? And I look it up and I'm like, but there's nowhere to watch it. And it literally got like high ratings. I was so blown away. I was like, this show has gotten the best ratings and I've never heard of it before. I mean, it sounded familiar, but I didn't know anything about it. And I was like, how did this show get such great ratings? And I think I put in shows like Broadchurch and Mayor of Easttown. And it said something like, if you love Broadchurch and you love Mayor of Easttown, Happy Valley is a show you have to watch. And I'm like, oh my God, Mayor of Easttown and Broadchurch, 2 of my favorite thrillers I've ever watched. And The Killing, I also love The Killing. It's one of my favorite shows. So anyway, so I was like, where do I watch this? Well, I'm looking online, and it says under there that the only places you can get it are that you have to buy it per episode or per season, okay, on Apple TV, on Amazon. But it said that it was available. Here's a funny story. It said that it was available on BritBox, okay? So I go in and I'm like, well, BritBox is like $7.99 or $8.99 a month, okay? But the seasons of Happy Valley are, I think the first season is like $16.99, the second season is $16.99, and the third season is $13.99. So I was like, well, why don't I buy 1 season of it, and then if I really like it, then, I went in, and I was like, if I just buy 1 season and I don't like it, then I won't probably get BritBox. I don't really think there are that many British shows that I really like, all that kind of stuff, right? So leave your British thrillers on BritBox, if they're on BritBox, in the comment section below. So I was like, I'm not going to buy BritBox yet, blah, 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 whatever. So I bought the first season of Happy Valley, okay? Then I was like looking through BritBox. You can't really see on BritBox what's over there. Not that I would have known those shows anyway, but I was like, you can't really see what's over there to see how good it is. But when you look up where to watch Happy Valley, well, this was like a month ago, where to watch Happy Valley, you know where it like lists all the channels? BritBox came up. So I'm laying right here in bed one night. I'm talking to my husband. I'm telling him about the show. I'm like, I'm so obsessed with the show. And I said, so here's what I'm thinking, okay? I'm like, because I put all the add-ons on. I mean, we have every streaming service. If I find a new streaming service, I buy it like right away. I'm kind of ridiculous with that. And I said, I think I'm going to get BritBox. And he starts laughing. He goes, why? And I go, well, because Happy Valley is on BritBox. And so if I buy the second and third season, it's going to be $16.99 and $13.99, right? Which is basically like $30. But if I get BritBox for $7.99 a month, that's like 4 months of BritBox, and I can watch Happy Valley. So it's like I'm saving. He goes, babe, do what you want to do. He goes, but what if you get BritBox and Happy Valley isn't on BritBox? And I said, well, that's stupid because it says on there that it's on BritBox. He goes, yeah, but sometimes that's wrong. I go, I'm pretty sure I have a TV reaction channel. And when it lists what channels it's on, it's usually on that channel. He goes, okay, I'm just saying, like, if you get BritBox and then it's not on BritBox, I'm like, well, it says it's on BritBox, so of course it's on BritBox. So that night, I share this whole story in my vlog. So that night, I get BritBox, right? I pay my $7.99 a month for it. I think I paid the whole year out or something like that. So I pay my $7.99 a month for BritBox, and I go in there, and I'm so excited because I'm now on, this was when I was on, I started season 2. So I was like, I'm so excited because now I'm on season 2. I can watch season 2, and I've got BritBox. I can watch all these British thrillers. I'll just be set for days, right? So I go in there and I put in Happy Valley and nothing comes up. And I'm like, what the F? Like, where is Happy Valley? Nowhere to be found, okay? So I look it up and it says Happy Valley is not available on BritBox. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Like, it literally says you can buy it right here, right? You can watch it on BritBox. It says with the BritBox subscription. So I'm going through there. It's not on BritBox at all, right? Okay, so hold on. It's on BritBox now if you have BritBox. Okay, so then I go in and I buy the 2nd and the 3rd season, all right? Now, I'm telling this story in my vlog. I vlog every day on a channel called Peter Vlogs. I just tell stories of my life. So I'm over there, and it's like 2 days later. Now, I bought season 2 and 3, and I've also locked into my BritBox subscription, okay? So I've now spent like $60 or something like that just on Happy Valley. It was well worth it. And so somebody messages me, they direct message me on Instagram, and they said, oh, BritBox just added Happy Valley. Well, I had just bought the 2 seasons. And they literally, so it's available on BritBox. But I think you have to buy the seasons otherwise. Okay, so let's get into the synopsis for the show. Catherine Kaywood, and she's the main star of this show, and she is played by Sarah Langshire, and it is also featuring James Norton, who plays like the villain of the show, and Siobhan Finneran, who plays Catherine's sister. It is so fantastic. Catherine Kaywood is a police sergeant in the West Yorkshire community of Calder Valley, also known as Happy Valley, for its high incidence of drug-related problems. She has faced tragedy in her life, namely the death of her daughter, Becky, who took her own life after giving birth to a son. Catherine believes that Tommy Lee Royce, who's played by James Norton, who has been serving time in prison for drug-related crimes, is responsible for the events that led to Becky's death. So when she learns that Tommy Lee has recently been released from prison, she makes it her mission to find him. Little does she know, however, that he is now a key figure in the kidnapping of Anne Gallagher, the daughter of a local millionaire, who she is trying to locate as a way to avenge her own daughter's death. Okay, now I am not going to ruin this for anybody because I don't want to give a bunch of spoilers because I think this is maybe this would be on my top 10 list of must-watch shows. Mayor of Easttown would be on there too, which is on HBO Max. This would be on my list of top 10 must-watch shows for mystery and thriller lovers. It is fantastically done. The character development is incredible. The mystery thriller aspect is like you cannot figure out what's going on. The suspense level is high quality. It is so well done. So it's about this woman named Catherine. She's about my age. I think she's maybe in her mid to late 50s. And she lives at home with her sister, who is a recovering heroin addict. And she's probably they're close in age. So they live in this little cottage in this small town, okay? Now it's called Happy Valley. They call it that because there's a high incidence of drugs in this area. It's this very small valley, like you can look over the whole town it's a cute little town. But there's tons and tons of drugs in this town, okay? So there's a lot of addiction. They speak a lot about 12-step programs, addiction, which as a person in recovery, I've been sober for 30 years. I'm active in a 12-step program. That aspect was very interesting to me. They did it well. I loved how they talked about it in the show because that's a criticism that I sometimes have. So she's living with her sister, okay, and also taking care of her grandson. So you don't really know when the show starts why she's taking care of her grandson. But what you find, and she's also divorced from her husband. And he is now remarried to somebody else. And she has no relationship with her son, who's an adult, and then her daughter has passed away. What you find out, and this is not going to ruin the show for you, this is just the premise of the show, is that her daughter, so she had a son and a daughter, and her daughter was assaulted by this man that she was also dating, this Tommy Lee guy. What's his name? Tommy Lee Royce. So played by James Norton. So they dated. But then they were heavily into drugs, and he assaulted her, the word that I cannot use on YouTube, and as a result, she got pregnant. after she had the child, and why can't I remember his name? Hold on a second. Let me pull up the son's name. His name is Ryan. So she's taking care of the grandson now. So after Ryan was born, he was, I think, like a week old, is what they say in the show, like a week or 5 weeks old or something like that. Her daughter took her own life. So Becky takes her own life. So Catherine, her mother, has all these feelings and emotions wrapped up to this. Nobody else wanted the grandson. Nobody, because they all blamed the grandson of being a product of this assault and the reason why Becky took her life. So there's always kind of this shadow over this young boy. When it starts, I think he's like 7 or 8 years old. He has no clue why he doesn't have a relationship with his grandfather, Catherine's ex-husband. He has no idea why everybody kind of looks at him a different way. But he has a lot of anger issues. He has a lot of school problems. And so she's constantly at the school dealing with that too. She thinks that comes directly from his biological father because his biological father has drug issues and is like this violent person. Okay. So she has no relationship really with her ex-husband, except for that when the show starts, they've started hooking up and they're sleeping together again. But he doesn't want any relationship with his grandson because the grandson is a product of this assault and the reason why his daughter took her life. So really all she's got in her life is this ex-husband who she's cheating on really with behind the new wife's back and her sister. And she's also seen as kind of a very difficult but very smart and shrewd police sergeant. So that's and she doesn't talk to her son. But then the son comes into the story later on because he and his wife get pregnant. So that's part of like what happens in the first episode, the first season. But each season, very much like Broadchurch, it's set up very much like Broadchurch. In that each season is a different mystery, but at the same time, the same storyline weaves all the way through. So in the first season, it's about this woman that is she's the daughter of a rich guy and like owns half the town, and she's kidnapped. And so Catherine's trying to figure out who she was kidnapped by, and she believes that this Tommy Royce is involved in it. And so at the same time, he finds out that he didn't even know he had a son, and he finds out he has a son. So it's a lot about every season is about Catherine and this Tommy at each other. So that's the background story and the son, all 3 seasons. But each season is a different mystery that kind of involves all of them together. When I tell you it is so binge-worthy, so fantastically done, discusses addiction, discusses family trauma, discusses family relationships. I mean, it is so good. It's one of the best shows I have ever seen in my entire life. If it was a book series, I would binge read it tomorrow. I wish they put out more series, or more seasons. One thing these British shows do, like Broadchurch and now Happy Valley, one of the things they do that is so smart, and I think Broadchurch actually came out after Happy Valley, is maybe not. They know when to end a show. Like when I read about why Broadchurch ended, they said that they had kind of like burnt out the storylines. It was a small town. It was the same thing with Happy Valley. Happy Valley, I don't want to like, it's kind of like the end of her career is how the show ends, but like, it's so fantastically done. And even the ending of it, I'm like bawling, crying. It is, I mean, I was ugly crying at the end of the show. It's so well done. One of the best shows I've ever seen. You got to go watch Happy Valley. I didn't want to spoil it for you in case you're going to watch it. Like I said, you can watch it on BritBox. I think there's, let me see, I'll tell you where you can watch it. BritBox. You can get it with YouTube primetime subscription. You can watch it on Philo. You can buy it on Apple, and you can buy it on Amazon with the add-on. So those are the places you can watch it. I would highly recommend it. I'm not a person that has a problem, obviously, buying a show if I really want to watch it that bad, but it's got to be really that good. And obviously, I'm not afraid to buy an add-on either because you can cancel it after 30 days. This is a show, and I've told my cousin bought it, and a couple other people that I know. I would recommend, like if you're somebody that doesn't mind spending the extra money to buy a show and you don't want to buy BritBox, I would buy this show. It's 3 seasons, and it is so worth it. It was so fantastic. It's called Happy Valley. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.